Hello.
Hello, how are you both doing?
Good, thank you. I'm having a very late breakfast. Do you mind if I eat?
No, I totally understand. You do you.
Okay.
So congratulations on this visceral and very powerful film. Caleb, congratulations on winning Best Actor at Cannes. Very well deserved. So for both of you, what did you like best about collaborating with each other?
Well, he's simply the best actor I've ever worked with.
Wow.
So everything was great.
How do you follow that up, Caleb?
I think Justin has, like, when making the movie, it felt like there was this hand over everything, over the whole film, and yet there was something magical about how it also felt like there was this distance for me as an actor to find something from myself, and I to do something that happened inside of me or something. And somehow it felt like there was this firm hand on everything, and yet my connection is unstable. And yet it felt like there was this great amount of space also within it to search for something, if that makes sense. Is that good enough? Is that okay?
Yeah, very well. I got a little ahead of myself. Justin, tell everyone about Nitram, the film.
The film's based on some shootings that happened in Tasmania, in Australia, in a place called Port Arthur, and it was probably one of Australia's sort of worst tragedies that happened, where after it the gun reform laws changed in Australia forever. And the film follows, I guess, the lead up to that event and the sort of dismantling of the character. And I think it was written as an anti-gun film, but I think it's probably more than just that. It's a film about outliers, about mental illness. It's a film about parenting. It questions and asks what leads someone to commit such acts. So it's a pretty intense film, but it's heavily based on the true events of a pretty significant tragedy in Australia.
Mm-hmm. And you said when you first read Shaun's brilliant script, you felt shaken, and rightfully so. So I'm curious, Caleb, how did you feel when you first read it, and what sort of discussions did the two of you have about the events and about what unfolds in the film?
I think I was apprehensive and nervous and worried about what the script was going to be, just knowing what it was about once learning about the massacre, because I didn't know about the massacre. Except that there was some laws had taken place in the 90s and guns had been taken back by the government, but I didn't know why or how. And so when I knew what it was going to be about, I think, also worried that it was going to reenact the events of that day. And like I think everyone else was when they heard we were making the film. And then by reading the script, I realized it was something completely different, that it really was a number of character studies in a way. And as Justin pointed out before, dealing with the family, looking for friendship, looking for love, looking for a way out or something, anyways, I'm going too much into, but the script is really beautiful and really well, all of this compressed, within a short period of time. And then meeting Justin and Shaun kind of sealed the deal in a way, I suppose, of seeing where their hearts were at and seeing where what mattered to them and why they were doing what they were doing, and their intentions behind making this, and them wanting to know that I was serious, wanting to maybe put the fear of God in me, that this was very important, and was going to be difficult, but something great could be achieved if we could do it in the right way.
So there were so many moments that stayed with me after I saw the film. The singing of To Willow with Essie and Caleb, of course. The fabric store.
To ever do, sing with Essie Davis, with on the front lawn.
It's such a beautiful moment. And then the fabric store monologue that Judy delivers. And then Caleb, you forcing Anthony off the couch. And then your scene with Judy, of course, ends with, I don't know what you're talking about. It's just so many beautiful moments that have really stayed with me. So I'm curious for both of you, what are some of the most memorable moments of working with Essie and Judy and Anthony?
Essie's my wife, so it's always a pleasure working with your wife, and she's an amazing actress. And Judy Davis has been someone that I've been desperate to work with, but never thought I would ever get the opportunity and the chance to. So, and Anthony is again another actor that I've deeply admired. So it was a really amazing ensemble of the four of them. And actually, they all brought an enormous amount to the film in regards to colouring and giving different points of view and perspectives of the lead character that Caleb was playing. So that they were really integral to getting an insight into the person.
Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, what are some of the moments in the film that the two of you feel most proud of?
I think that I feel proud of a lot of the film, and a lot of the elements there. I think there's a particular scene when Nitram goes in and buys the guns,
right,
that it was always a very powerful scene on page, but I think that the performances of both actors in that scene were vital and important in terms of understanding what the film was about. And I didn't have much to do with it on that day, really, because they were so amazing that I just let it sort of go. But they really were pretty extraordinary in that moment.
I read that you had to pivot at the last minute in terms of how that scene was shot.
We had some location problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had we had a location pull out, which was really unfortunate. And I can understand why. There was someone who owned a gun shop who got really nervous about about us shooting in the gun shop. So yeah. But we sort of managed to find a backup sort of pretty quickly. But it's sort of what the film is in a way. It's that there are people that have felt very uncomfortable about it, and then there are others that weren't even born when the events happened, and have been really curious as to kind of why and how it happened, and looking into those pretty sort of dark shadows of our history in Australia.
Mm-hmm. And as someone who's lived in Tasmania for several years, what's the reaction been like recently to the film?
It's really mixed. I think there are those that wish the film had never been made, and I think there are others that thought they were going in to see something different from what was eventually on screen, and were surprised, and had a really interesting conversation with the film. So it's been pretty mixed. It was just such a seismic event that happened, and people have such strong feelings about that day, and you know, and any sort of depiction of that day, you know, and especially our depiction, which follows the footsteps of the shooter.
Yeah.
So, you know, I kind of understand why it is mixed.
Mm. And Caleb, what was your reaction as a viewer?
Oh, I'm very proud of the film. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, just
Yeah, I mean,
reaction to certain moments.
I had to watch it on a little tablet, you know, in the,
Right.
no, maybe it's a computer. I think it was on the computer in the garage or something. My girlfriend and I watched it, but we were both, to be honest, it took me a few days to probably like to kind of think over it, what we did, you know,
Yeah.
and everything. But I'm immensely proud. It was as an actor, it was the greatest film for me. I've been a part of the greatest experience, and it's very rare that I think you finish a film and you look at it and you go, and you're really proud of it, and you're excited about what it can do once it's seen by others. And this very much was that very special, I think.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've both had some amazing collaborators over the years. Caleb, you've had some amazing scene partners, filmmakers that you've worked with. Justin,
Yeah.
you've had some incredible collaborators that you've worked with. Who would the two of you like to work with again in the future?
Justin would be good, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, Caleb.
I love it. And what have the two of you been watching or reading or listening to lately that you've been really drawn to?
I watched I was watching White Lotus the other day, and I was really into that, and I love Murray in it, who's an Australian actor. My wife worked with really early on in both of their careers, and I thought his performance in it was just so amazing. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot. Last night I went to see Nick Cave play, and it was a pretty amazing night. His show was pretty extraordinary. And then the night before I saw David Byrne
Wow.
and his show in New York, and it was like incredible. So I've kind of had these couple really transforming kind of nights of music that have been really inspiring. But yeah, and then sitting on my bum watching White Lotus, which I thought was great. I don't know, they're the things that come firstly to mind.
And Caleb, what have you been watching lately?
Yesterday I got back from the dentist, 2 root canals, and I watched a lot of that Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt show. There's a few Edith Piaf albums in the car, but I guess that's what I got, I guess.
How are your teeth doing? They're okay?
Yeah, I feel better today.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for the art that you bring into the world. Thank you for this film. I hope gun reforms change. I hope gun laws change all across in Texas, notably, Caleb, for you, your hometown, and then Justin in Australia for sure. I was very shocked by what I learned in this film. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Have a
for
lovely
talking.
day.
Cheers.
Thank you.